Okay, I'm back. We had a blip of power failure, so back. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I hope that you can hear me. Let me know. Can you hear me? I'm here. Yesterday was my dad's birthday, so I was glad that I could take a walk. But it's raining and storming and wind, and can you hear me? Just let me know. Doo, 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 doo. Hi Liza, hi Callie, Lisa, how are you guys? Sorry about that. Hopefully everybody finds us. Let me just put this out here real quick on, at least get this out on X, then I'm back up here. Get this out just a little bit here. And I'll just put this real quick over here. Hopefully people will find us. And let me just put this out on the Facebook page here. So otherwise, sometimes people don't know we're back on. All right. And where the heck? Okay. Okay, can you hear me though? You can hear me. You can hear me. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. All right, let me just go to put this out on YouTube. Not YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Where it lets me put a whatchamacallit. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. So maybe we can get back in the algorithm. Okay, so let's see where we were on this. We were where they found the legs, and the legs were of the mother, right? Okay. Okay, I think we were over here. The video surveillance. Okay. Okay, the tools. So Deputy Plenty reports that Dr. R collected 6 samples from the remains and had packaged them, giving them to him. These were DNA samples to be given to the state crime lab for comparison. Detective Shunk reported on July 29, 2021, he received an email from Daniel Campbell, who is the DNA forensic scientist supervisor at Wisconsin State Crime Lab. Attached to the email was a DNA analysis report which referenced this case. After reviewing the report, Detective Shunk noticed the conclusion was that a portion cut from the left leg tissue identified Krista R. Halderson as the source. The report states, given that Bart A. Halderson is the biological father of MAH, it is at least 413 billion times more likely to observe the profile from MAH if the female profile detected from the left leg tissue is his biological mother than if it was a random unrelated female is the mother. The report documents for the analysis a dried blood standard from Bart Halderson, an electric toothbrush head reportedly used by Krista Halderson, and a buccal swab standard from MAH was used to come to the conclusion. Your complainant is aware that MAH is the defendant's brother. Detective Shunk reports during the briefing on August 5th, Dr. R spoke about her findings from the autopsy of the human remains which were located in the town of Roxbury. Dr. R stated during the briefing that the remains identified as one leg and portions of another leg were approximated as to be from the same person. Dr. R stated the legs had post-mortem cuts indicated by the lack of hemorrhaging observed. Dr. R stated samples of tissue from each portion of the legs were obtained to submit the DNA analysis. During a meeting on August 19th and a phone call on August 20th, statements were clarified with Dr. R in regards to the human leg portions which were located in the town of Roxbury. Dr. R stated the leg portions were removed post-mortem and the autopsy findings support post-mortem mutilation. She said the cuts through the legs were made with no evidence of surgical or medical intervention. Dr. R stated that after reviewing the DNA analysis report from the Wisconsin State Crime Lab, she agreed that DNA evidence supported that one of the left leg portions had been identified as belonging to Krista Halderson, and the portions of the left leg together approximately to match the right leg, meaning they believed to have come from the same person. Dr. R stated further analysis is pending on the portions of the legs which couldn't be identified through initial DNA analysis. Deputy Michael Wilk reports he reviewed video surveillance obtained from a residence on Oak Spring Circle. The video views the driveway, front entry, and portions of the front yard of the Halderson home. Deputy Wilk reports Krista was known to drive a 2004 Volvo station wagon. In review of the surveillance from July 1st, 2021, the Volvo backs out of the driveway to travel east on Oak Spring Circle. On July 8th, Detective Meyerhofer reports he spoke with Krista's supervisor, whose name forms the initials CFV. CFV reported Krista left work Thursday, July 1st, 2021 at 4:58 p.m. Deputy Wilk reports on review of the surveillance video, July 1st, 2021 at 5:12:57, the Volvo pulls straight into the driveway from east of the residence, and then on July 1st at 8:16, the Volvo backs out of the driveway and travels east. Detective Berndt reviewed the video footage from the Quick Trip in the 4300 block of Windsor Drive while observing the exterior cameras at 8:22 p.m. Detective Berndt observed a dark color Volvo parked in the farthest right parking stall facing the front entrance of the store. At approximately 8:22 p.m., the camera captures the driver's side door of a dark-colored Volvo opening, and after the door opens, Detective Berndt observes the lower legs and feet of an unidentified individual. Due to the camera continuously moving, she noticed the next camera still to be an individual walking on the path towards the front entrance of the store. At 8:23 p.m., Detective Berndt observed a male walk into the front entrance door. Upon entering, he immediately turns right. He is seen walking to an ice cooler located on the right side of the store near the ATM machine, and he retrieves 2 bags of ice. As he turns around back in the direction he came from, he is seen with 2 bags of ice, one in each hand. The individual is identified as a white male wearing jeans, black long-sleeve shirt with an orange design on the front, a dark-colored baseball hat, athletic-style shoes, and a face mask. At 8:24 p.m., the male walks to the front register and pays for the ice. At 8:24 p.m., the male appears to pay. He is then seen walking out the front entrance with 1 bag of ice in each hand. He walks on the path near the dark-colored Volvo. At 8:26 p.m., the dark-colored Volvo is seen exiting the parking lot through the front entrance. The vehicle then takes a right back onto Windsor Drive. Detective Wilk noted in review of the surveillance video from Oak Spring Circle, the Volvo pulls straight into the driveway from east of the residence. On July 19th, Detective Berndt was provided a copy of the receipt from the above-mentioned purchase. Detective Berndt observed on the receipt a date of July 1st, 2021, 8:24 p.m. The location was Quick Trip, located in the 4300 block of Windsor. tax description, ice nugget bag, 10 pounds, and there were 2 bags which were purchased totaling $3.98. That's pretty cheap. The mail made use of a Venmo debit card, the last 3 digits on the card 075 at the bottom. They were words verified by PIN were printed. Detective Burnt was provided information the defendant made a $3.98 transaction using his Venmo bank card at Quick Trip. Detective Plenty reports on July 28, 2021, he responded to the house to process the residents in regards to this investigation. Detective Plenty reports he went to the garage and located a pair of shoes upon a shelving unit. In the right shoe, Deputy Plenty, observed there was a foiled wrapped item. Deputy Plenty opened the tin foil. Oh, I remember this. He put the tin foil package. The foil was doubled up, giving 2 layers of foil around the packaging. Upon opening the package, he saw there was a paper towel also wrapped around the contents. He opened up the paper towel and he observed a driver's license which was present for Bart Halderson, and underneath the identification and black and color iPhone, Deputy Plenty observed that there was another identification card, driver's license, which came back to Krista Halderson. The second cell phone, which was underneath the driver's license, was white in color. Detective Sims is aware during this investigation, Detective Blank wrote a search warrant for the U.S. cell phone records for the phone numbers used by Krista, Bart, and the defendant. Detective Sims reviewed the U.S. cellular records with the assistance of the Wisconsin Department of Criminal Investigation criminal analyst Courtney Ripp. They reviewed U.S. cell records for the cell phone ending 4998, which is that for Krista, and phone number 4549, which is the number used by the defendant. Upon review of the U.S. cellular records, the last activity on Krista's device, 4998, is 6:41:41 a.m. at July 2nd until 11:02:04 a.m. on July 4th. Between those times, all incoming calls were routed to voicemail. There was no outgoing activity, and the short message service, SMS, messages which were sent to Krista's device were not delivered until July 4th, 2021. SMS text sent from the defendant's device to Krista's on July 4th occurred at 11:02:58 a.m. and 11:03 a.m. 08 a.m. The defendant's device utilized a tower which Detective Sims knows to be located in the 500 block of Lynn Street, DeForest, Dane County, Wisconsin. Krista's device utilized a tower despite the naming convention. Both towers mentioned have the same latitude-longitude location in the 500 block of Lynn Street. Detective Sims is aware of the content of the July 4th text message from Krista to the defendant for the interview conducted with the defendant on July 7th when he reported his parents missing. Detective Sims and Detective Shunk looked at the defendant's call logs, and the text message he said came from his mom. After the interview, the defendant sent screenshots of his phone call logs and text messages from his mom to Detective Shunk. The content of those texts from Krista to the defendant was, "Made it safely, can't get anything through, and yes, it's packed. Going to White Lake today for the parade, and we'll be home Monday night/Tuesday early. Love you lots." Detective Sims was also aware through this investigation that the White Lake Independence Day celebration and parade was held on Saturday, July 3rd, 2021 at 2 p.m. Google searches. On August 18, 2021, Detective Sims reviewed documents received after a search warrant was issued to Google for the defendant's identified account. The warrant was issued to receive content from June 30th, 2021 through July 8th, 2021. And here's what they found. The following items were searched for on July 8th, 9:44 a.m. body found, Wisconsin, 944. Woman's body found in Wisconsin, 944.50. What Wisconsin dismembered body found, 945. Dead body found in Wisconsin, 945.40. Body found in Milwaukee River, 2021. 312 46. Bart and Krista. Your complainant is aware at the time of the Google searches were conducted. In the morning of July 8th, the Dane County Sheriff's Office had not located any human remains as part of this investigation. Your complainant is aware the human remains of Bart Halderson were located at 3 p.m. July 8th. Your complainant believes that the information from the Dane County Medical Examiner's Dr. Corey Ann Breslauer and Dr. R to be truthful and reliable. Okay, this further, let's see. Now we have to get to the fireplace, so just hang on a second. Let's see if I have this. Okay, this is almost done here. Let's see. Do you believe that this thing is still going here? Okay. Go back to this. And again, let me put a picture of Chandler Halderson and then his parents, Bart and Krista. There's a problem with this thing. Go there. So weird. Okay, hang on. I'm just waiting for this thing this file to open for me. It's got 2 minutes left on it. So it got messed up when we lost our power, but let me get here about the fireplace. Okay. All right, here's the picture that I showed you before of the luminol, right? That, go over there. In the basement, one of the deputies who spent weeks going over the house spent several hours testifying during the trial about what he found in the home. And that was Deputy Greg Leatherberry. He's the crime scene investigator for the Dane County Sheriff's Office. And when he went on the stand during the trial, he spoke about in great detail what he found in every room of the family's home. Said not every room in the home had something of value to the investigation, but multiple pieces of possible evidence were found over a 3-week period in which they were there searching 10 to 12 hours per day. When we're done with a tornado search, we'll find everything. We will turn the house upside down, looking for whatever piece of evidence here that would have any value to this case. So let's see. In the garage, investigators say they found blood stains on the handle of the family's municipal garbage bin, as well as inside the garbage bin itself. Additional testing confirmed the presence of blood, and it was in fact human blood. A severed rope was found inside a basket hanging on the garage wall, which was consistent with a piece of rope that was found tied around the dismembered torso of Bart Halderson. An axe was found propped up against the wall of the garage, hidden behind several boards. I remember that. That was also propped up against the wall. Red stains were found where the axe handle met the axe head, along with some dark staining on the axe head. There was also red stains up and down the axe handle, which additional testing found to be human blood. A saw handle was found behind the boards, with the saw blade missing. Investigators searching the Cottage Grove farm, where Bart Halderson's remains were found, had discovered saw blades without a handle discarded in an oil drum. Near where the remains were, a search of the tool chest in the garage also found a handle for a handsaw. A measuring tape was found on the table in front of the fireplace, as well as a plastic bag from Target. A pair of workman's gloves were found next to the fireplace. A pane of glass was broken on the fireplace, as had previously been described by Chandler Halderson, who said it broke when he was playing with the family dogs. Small pieces of glass were found inside the fireplace. Paint above the fireplace had been discolored and bubbled up, which investigators say was likely caused by excessively high temperatures in the fireplace. The grate inside the fireplace was also found to be discolored in some areas, which prompted Leatherby to call fire investigators. 2 unburnt logs and some unburnt pieces of newspaper were found inside the wood-burning fireplace. Leatherby could not recall the exact date found on the newspaper, but said, stay tuned. A burnt piece of wood was also visible in the fireplace with a white fragment seen on top of it. Testing showed it was a human bone fragment. Bloodstains were also found on the floor in front of the fireplace. Further blacklight analysis showed additional bloodstains in front of the fireplace, which showed as a dripping splatter. An empty freezer that had its lid up seemed out of place to investigators because its placement in the basement did not seem functional to them, further raising red flags. Let's see here. The inside of the freezer appeared to be very clean, but tests found traces of human blood that were left behind in the drain at the bottom of the freezer. An empty bottle of hydrogen peroxide was found, which investigators said seemed out of place because it was near other well-stocked or full cleaning products. They also knew hydrogen peroxide could be used to clean up blood. A roll of yellow duct tape was found on a storage shelf. Leatherby said he knew yellow duct tape was found inside a garbage bin that also held a tarp that was found in the woods, not far from where Bart Halderson's remains were found. Crime scene investigators took the roll of duct tape into evidence to see if they could determine if the tape in the garbage bin had come from the roll of tape in the basement. Investigators found towels hung over the basement windows, preventing anyone outside from seeing in. Blood spatter was found on the face of a safe that was sitting on the floor of the basement. A portion of the splatter was tested and came back positive for human blood. Based on the splatter pattern, Leatherby said the blood could have come at the safe from a 90-degree angle, meaning it came from something on the floor of the basement. 2 items later determined to be bullet fragments were found on the basement floor. A spent fire extinguisher was found on a shelf of a blue workbench. Below the workbench, a spent ammunition cartridge shell was found. The spent casing was consistent with the ammunition used in an SKS rifle, the same type of rifle discovered in a shed on the farm where Bart Halderson's remains were found, and the same type of rifle the friend had recently given Chandler. The spent casing was also consistent with a bullet Chandler Halderson had given to his brother Mitchell as a gift. Mitchell had turned over the bullet to authorities to assist in the investigation. Mouthpieces for a vape were found behind a piece of exposed insulation in the basement, prompting investigators to pull out all the insulation in the basement. Once all of the insulation was removed, investigators found 3 ammunition magazines, holding dozens of rounds that were being hidden next to the vape mouthpieces. The rounds in the magazines had the same casings as the shells found on the basement floor and the same casings as the bullet Chandler gave to his brother. 2 of the magazines were holding 20 rounds of ammunition for an SKS rifle. A third only had 15 rounds in it, meaning 5 were missing. Okay, let's see here. Blood analysis. Let's see here. They used a chemical called luminol to help investigators look for blood that may have previously been cleaned up or wiped away. No evidence of blood was found in either Bart or Krista's vehicles. Investigators did not apply luminol to a third vehicle that belonged to Chandler Halderson's girlfriend because they determined nothing had been moved inside the vehicle during the time frame. Luminol was also applied to several areas of the Halderson home, including the foyer, the family room, the bathroom, and the basement. Let's see. The luminol test found several areas of likely blood that had been cleaned up in the basement, including an area that found bloody footprints. Evidence of blood dripping and splattering were also found in the basement. And that's what you're saying. There was blood spatter indicative of blood dripping in front of the fireplace in the family room, where investigators had also found a human bone fragment. A luminol test of the entrance of the home also found likely blood near the door to the garage. Okay. And let me see if this thing is done now. I think it is. Okay, is this it? What? I already extracted that. Hold on a minute. Oh, here it is. What the heck is wrong with this? Very odd. I don't know why it's not letting me open his interview. I don't even get it. Try this one. Let's listen to we can listen to the call. This is Chandler calling because he sees.
A little confused. I got 2 squads parked right outside my house, and they're not really canvassing. They're just kind of sitting there. Is everything all right?
Yeah, I mean, they're in the area doing canvassing, and they're also probably doing a shift change right now, getting our second shift crew on around 3:30.
Oh, there's 4 now. Something going on that we need to know?
Well, they're probably doing reports. They're probably doing shift change. You know, they've been going around trying to get a hold of neighbors, so I'm wondering if they're in the area trying to catch people now that they're coming home from work. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to any of them in just a little while.
All right. Well, any news with my brother? I haven't heard from him.
No, as far as I know, they're still on their way up north. A couple-hour drive, so he's probably halfway into it, right?
Yeah, I suppose about.
Yeah. Any news on your end at all? Have you gotten any phone calls, text messages?
Gotten any messages other than from concerned parents?
Okay.
I can't. There's no mail. There's a hold on my mail.
Okay.
Is that normal? Are you guys getting it at least?
No, we don't put a hold on people's mail. I've never heard of that happening before.
There's a hold on my mail. There's a ticket in there. All mail held at the station is what it says.
Okay. Yeah, nothing done by us, that's for sure.
Because I'm going to need my medical bills.
Yeah. No, we wouldn't put a hold on people's mail, and typically only the people that live at the address can do that. Did your parents put a hold on the mail? Does it say who put the hold on the mail?
I can go check, I suppose.
Okay.
Do you know of anything? So, I don't know. It's kind of stressful. Sorry, so there's nothing new going on?
Not that I'm aware of.
Alright.
Yeah. Who's
Right.
there? Are you at home still right now, obviously? Because you're saying they're outside. Who's there with you?
Yeah, no, they're not with me. They're just 4 squads just parked outside.
Okay. Who was just talking in the background, Kat?
Yeah, Kat's over with me.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, I mean, I can definitely give you a call or message you, I guess, depending. What time are you planning on going to dinner?
Not sure, but
Okay.
pretty soon here.
Is it cool to
I
call
was
you?
hoping to hear from... What was that?
Is it cool to call you while
Yeah.
you're at dinner? Okay.
Anytime.
Okay. Well, I'll keep you posted if I hear anything. I mean, obviously with the mail, that has nothing to do with us at all. I've never heard of a detective or law enforcement agency holding somebody's mail. And then as far as everybody in the area, you kind of had to figure we were going to be in the area all day today.
Yeah, I was just wondering why there were 4 cars instead of the canvassing.
Yeah.
Any news about that blue house with the big cameras?
The blue house with the big cameras. Is that the one across the street?
Yeah, across the street, kind of in the corner. It's a newer house.
I haven't talked
I
to...
stopped by their house.
Yeah, I have a detective that's getting footage from the area. I don't know exactly which houses he's gotten video from yet. But yeah,
Sounds
there's...
like they downloaded all of it and already have it at IT.
Oh, okay. So he's probably reviewing it now.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes time to go through those things. You figure you can only fast forward so much.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give you a holler if anything pops up. And I'll give a call around and just kind of get a briefing from people up in the area.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay. Thanks, Chandler.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Thanks, Chandler. All right. Okay. Let me look at something else here. Let me just see something really quick. Just looking in this other file of mine for something. Okay. This is... So he brought them up. Now, I remember, I think it was when I was listening and taking notes on the trial. The mother and her partner really went into detail of Chandler's behavior during that time. And that I do have on here. There is a whole playlist for the trial. Just trying to see one thing here. So I knew I have a bunch of the crime scene photos for this, and that's what's really bothering me, that my files are all discombobulated, and I thought they were in this one thing. Just look for one thing. tote. Remember that? I see the tote files I have. Again in Stalk. So weird. Okay. All right, let me then just go to the other stuff. I'll just pull out about the fireplace. Okay. All right, here's, let me see if I can get this now. So there was a search of the ash trap for the fireplace in the family room of the Halderson home that found a dozen containers worth of bone fragments. The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office and a forensic anthropologist testified during the trial that they found items of interest in the search of the Halderson fireplace that filled 12 containers, and further examination found a total of 230 bone fragments in the fireplace, its grate, and the ash trap. Many were later identified as human bone, while 124 fragments could not be identified due to the size or condition they were in. Forensic analysis found the bone pieces to be consistent with multiple parts of the human body, including the skull, fingers, and kneecaps. Several teeth were also found, although they were in such a state they could not be traced back to who they had belonged to. A dental crown was found stuck to the fireplace's grate. Prosecutors have alleged that Chandler used the family's fireplace in an attempt to dispose of some of Bart and Krista Halderson's remains. The skull fragment found inside the fireplace belonged to an adult, but she could not determine if it was male or it was female. Okay, and then here's something else. Let me see here. This is what the inside of the fireplace. Let's see, where'd you go? Look like. And a neighbor, Stephen Greiber, who was a retired detective and lived across the street from the Haldersons, said he was outside on the evening of July 1st and he started to smell a strong odor of burning wood. He thought someone had built a fire pit outside, but within a few minutes, he said the smell changed and it smelled like someone was barbecuing pork. It kind of became a real strong smell, kind of a pungent smell, to the point that I actually walked down my driveway half the distance and kind of looked up and down the street to see if anybody was doing anything like grilling or something else was going on. And I didn't see anything else at that point. Another neighbor, Colin Lynch, told police the security camera footage he had pointed towards the Halderson home. Later that night and into the early morning hours of July 2nd, a video showed a flickering light inside the Halderson's house, which was more than 300 feet away. Jurors saw a time-lapsed version of the video which showed the flickering that the investigators believe was the fireplace in the Haldersons' family room from about 12:18 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. on July 2nd. An examination of the Halderson family room fireplace, Special Agent William Boswell of the Wisconsin Department of Justice Division of Criminal Investigation was eventually called by the sheriff's office to take a close look at the Halderson family room fireplace. Boswell testified one of the things that stood out as he inspected the fireplace was the smell, the same smell of pork that Greiber had described in his testimony earlier in the day. Boswell said his experience has taught him that burning or burnt human remains often smell similar to a pork barbecue. as, let's see, human bone fragments were found in the fireplace. Boswell testified that standard fires don't typically burn at a temperature that would incinerate all human remains, and even crematoriums frequently have bone fragments left behind after the process. As part of the investigation into the fireplace, authorities also followed the ash trap to where ashes would have been deposited in the basement. Boswell said that area was cleared out by investigators with teams of people sifting through the debris and ash. Boswell also said more bone fragments were found. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Now, of course, we want to know what happened, right? That's the next thing. You want to find out what happened. Well, in this case, the girlfriend's Snapchat helped the police unravel this murder. The app placed Chandler at that remote location where they found the mother's legs. Okay, and that was thanks to the Snapchat. Let's see here. Show you something here. Okay, I'm going to show you some pictures. This was the family's cabin that Chandler, said that his parents went up to. I'm going to put it over there. Hang on. Okay. And then this was Chandler in his interview. And this is that oil drum. Back in there. And the torso is found there. And let's see. Here's the Snapchat that placed Chandler where the legs were found. Okay, here, this one coming up. This was key. That was in the girlfriend's. Oopsie. Hold on a minute. Get over there. Get over there. Oh my goodness. That's the Chandler's girlfriend, Catherine Kat Melander, gave investigators permission to download data from her phone, and she would keep tabs on him with the Snapchat chat feature that allowed users to track a friend's location. And on July 3rd, she spotted Chandler on Snapchat near the Wisconsin River. She had taken a screenshot and sent it to her phone. Okay, now here's what happened. Prosecutors presented evidence that Chandler had flunked out of college. They said he made up a series of fake emails to make his parents believe that he was still enrolled in school. They presented evidence of Chandler buying a tarp and 20 pounds of ice. And this is when they had pictures of him doing that. Oopsie. Get over there. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then he had cutting tools and broken glass from the fireplace doors. And he made fake emails that he said he was going to go to, had a job at SpaceX and all this crap. And it was, and that image I gave you before that had the luminol, this was that image without, like, with the lights on. See right here, it looks like lots of kids blocks, doesn't it? And those, like, not even like full to the top, just like bins and bins of kids blocks or something. Isn't that interesting? Very interesting. Okay. And this was Chandler in court. Remember, it was COVID time, and actually one juror tested positive for COVID during that trial. Okay. So the jury deliberated for 2 hours, and Chandler was found guilty on all charges and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. So he's still serving his sentence, and that was all, they went on in court about how he, again, faked that, he had fake emails from a Proton account, and that said he was getting that job at SpaceX, and he had an internship and all this crap, and I guess it just all got too much, and he killed his parents. Then he tried to dismember them, and he thought he had, I guess, a good plan there, but it's not going to work out. Okay, and let's see something. Hang on. He's appealing his conviction for the murders of his parents. The appeal is facing challenges, including a no-merit report from a volunteer attorney. The appeal is focused on the lesser charges. 2 convictions for hiding a corpse were vacated due to the legal conflict with the mutilating a corpse charges, but that does not affect his life sentences for the homicides. Let me go over here. Let's see his appeal. So, let me see. Invoice, no merit, submitted. That was on April 8th of 2024. Fee paid, so I don't see that. Yeah, let's see. Gender. Oh, expert opinion. Chandler Halderson's appeal attempt has no chance of success as there is zero conflict in the statute between mutilating and destroying a corpse. So, yeah, that's the end. Let's see, any questions? Let me get back to the thing over here. Hi, Cranky Babishka. How are you? Haven't seen you in ages, Cranky. Hi, Darla. Hi, Heart Made Wise. Who came in here? Everybody came in here when I was doing this. Hi, DC. How are you? Let me see what you guys are saying. Hold on. Okay, Kelly, Lisa, Liza, Ann, Heart Made Wise. And then DC said, "Hi guys, I love this case. The trial was amazing. I was very impressed by the DA and all the forensics, especially when they proved he was burning their bodies in the fireplace. So glad to rehash it." Well, thank you, DC. Cranky Babishka, hi. Thanks for coming in. DC says, "I think he wanted a trial to see how they caught him, but he also thought he was smarter than everyone else. Cranky says, "I am very familiar with this murder. It was horrible." It was, yeah. Especially when he was going door to door. Yeah, I showed that in the first part. We lost electricity and we had to go to a part 2. Let's see here. I believe that DC, I agree. Liza says that he always thinks he's the smartest one in the room. DC says, "I know, like the kneecaps in the fireplace." Okay, Kathleen Fleck, thank you for being a cheerleader. He dumped his dad at the farm where his girlfriend's mom worked. Yeah, I know. And then, yeah, it was so gross. And then he got in the pool and cleaned himself off. So disgusting. The kid had everything snowed except dad woke up to him. Let's see. Cranky said, "So gross. Mom and girlfriend were swimming in the pool." Yes, I know. I remember that, Cranky. It was so disgusting. I don't think it was drugs. No, he just couldn't face what happened, that he flunked out of school, didn't want to tell his parents, and so he made up a big thing. Is something going on? What do you mean? Seriously, watch the whole trial on YouTube. It's still there. Yeah, and I covered the whole trial too. I just don't know how you go 20 years and then straight to killing your parents. Sounds like meth to me. Possibly paranoia, staying up all night, sleeping all day. I don't know. Look how many killed their parents. Look at Joel Guy Jr. That was something about school too. So was the one we just covered the other night, was that the one that killed her mother. We just covered her the other night. Let's see here. Have you all listened to their jail calls? He and the girlfriend, she's sick too. Wait, which one? The Chandler's jail calls? The girlfriend stuck with him, DC? No, I haven't heard the jail calls. Maybe I'll have to request them. All turned to murder when the parents were going to know the truth, says Darla. Hi, Darla. He used his dad's gas station card to get free coffee afterwards. Oh my gosh. He planned this out. Poor execution. He wasn't as smart as they thought. I remember them hiding the stuff behind the planks. Yeah. I guess he did some of the dismembering in the freezer too, or put parts in there because they found the blood and stuff. Ugh, gross. So Chandler has jail calls with his girlfriend. Really? Oh, let's see. It says here, some of their conversations. He and his girlfriend discussed general topics related to his time in jail and the ongoing situation, but specific criminal details were avoided as they're monitored. The calls occurred after his initial arrest, when his girlfriend had already fully cooperated with the police and provided key evidence, including that Snapchat location data. She was largely unaware of the extent of his lies and believed his story that his parents were missing for the majority of the time that she was with him following their disappearance. Interesting. But then they are broken up now. see here. See what this is about. Yeah, she's not with him anymore. They're not together anymore. Not together anymore. Okay, so let's take a look at. I got to tell you something. I have to check on this shooting. There was a shooting in a college in upstate New York, SUNY Morrisville. Did you guys hear about that? Let's see what happened. Because when I came on, let's see what happened. SUNY Morrisville, one person, 20 was shot, and then it was so strange. The shooters were on the loose, but they were not calling it an active situation. It was active, but not an active shooter situation. They didn't even know. It's so crazy. Okay. Let's see what's going on with that. It's still on SOS alert. They still haven't... Let me see what's going on. Wow, no arrest made, it says. Let's see the update. It says classes at SUNY Morrisville are canceled Tuesday after a shooting. State police are calling a targeted event that left a 20-year-old man with a gunshot wound to the neck. Law enforcement are going to have a presence overnight on the campus as the search for a suspect continues. Police say there's no threat to the public, although many on campus remain on edge. No, yeah, is this ridiculous now? There's no threat to the public. No. How do they can't say that, even if it was a targeted thing. How do they know where this person or persons are? And how do they know how they're going to handle this? Maybe they're going to think, oh my gosh, well, I'm done. So maybe I'll go out with a blaze, right? Of, come on. It's so dumb that they say something like that. So a student there said, all of a sudden we heard the alarm saying, this is a lockdown, this is a shelter in place, and this is an emergency. It's one of those things you hear about, you think it'll never happen to you. Most of the campus has been lifted from lockdown, while the South and Onondaga residence halls remain on lockdown as they are searched by law enforcement. Students in the dorms will spend the night in the rec center and once cleared to leave their dorms by police. The New York State Police say one person was injured in a shooting at a residential South Hall at the SUNY Morrisville campus on Monday. Troopers arrived on the scene at 3:45 p.m. At 5:45 p.m., the state police identified the victim as 20-year-old man. He was shot in the neck, taken to the Upstate University Hospital for treatment. His name and condition were not released. The state police established a command post. Members of the state police, Bureau of Criminal Investigation, Uniformed Services, Special Operations Response, K-9 units were on scene. State police did not announce any arrests or descriptions of a suspect. The governor posted on Twitter that she's monitoring the situation, saying, I have been briefed on the shooting on campus at SUNY Morrisville. New York State Police are assisting local law enforcement and SUNY leadership as they respond to this situation. The campus remains on lockdown until further notice. SUNY Morrisville initiated a lockdown. This was really scary, you guys, because if you don't know what SUNY Morrisville is, it is in upstate New York, but it is in a small freaking town. I mean, there is no Walmart. There is nothing. It is so small. And I've been to this campus. We went to this campus. Did we go twice or once? Because my son was actually considering it, but it's a very, very small campus, which was nice in a way, but there really wasn't anything. I mean, like for the kids to even go get stuff for their dorm room, there wasn't even like a Walmart around. It is literally in the middle of nowhere, fields. Okay, so this is like the last place you would think there would be a shooting. My daughter called me. She's in New York City, right? She's like, Mom, you're not going to believe this. She goes, I got like cold chills that. She's like, I called my son up at his school and I said, did you know there was a shooting there? He didn't even know. But I don't even understand how they didn't put any of the surrounding colleges. I think they did in elementary school. Where are these people? And then if you go on Facebook, there's totally different information saying that there was a silver car they were following and two people they were looking at. So now you've got, now you're saying there's two people that are, how could you say that there's no threat to the public? And the person that was shot was not a student there. Okay, so then your mind goes and thinks, okay, it's a 20-year-old. Like maybe this was some kind of a love rival, right? He was there, knew he was with the girlfriend or something like that. But even so, once you shoot someone like that, we don't know the condition. We'll pray that the person is okay, but we don't know their condition. And we don't know what the shooter is thinking. There's no way the state police can say there's no threat to the public. That's just ridiculous. Hold on, I'm trying to find where you guys are. Okay. Stuff happens in small towns now. It's so gross. Yeah, this town is so tiny, Cranky. Darla says it's central. It's not upstate. We call it upstate New York. I live here. Darla, do you live in New York? Everything is upstate New York. It's just how far upstate. Do you live in New York, Darla? I'm just wondering. Because I've lived here a long, long time, and we call it upstate. This stuff happens in your town, and it's only 15K people. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see if I can get... It's Madison County, New York. I actually have a picture in front of one of these. Active shooter shelter in place. What is this? Why do they have somebody in cuffs over here? They even say here, Darla, that the victim was transported to Upstate University Hospital for treatment. Okay, so now where was I? Okay. I went to college at Syracuse. I live in Savannah now. Yeah, but it's central New York. I get it. You call it upstate. It's up. Okay. Well, it's not just me that calls it upstate, but yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Okay, what are you doing? You're going. Yeah, I would tell you. You're welcome for that. You did have a Walmart though. Um, yeah, it is inconceivable, Darla. It really is, and especially for a place like this. Really, it's crazy. But I don't know. I want to hear more about why this happened. But like it's really a very remote school. Okay, very remote. My son was really considering it, but it's just a little too remote. But it was a very small school, and the professors and everybody were wonderful, and they had like a lot of really good programs there. Especially if you wanted to go into like the DEC. They had everything on target for that. They had a lot of great animal management, wildlife management, fisheries and hatcheries, and for the DEC, which is law enforcement. So, and programs to go right from your 4-year degree into that. And so, yeah, we looked and met a lot of great people up there, and really nice campus, and very small. And I thought, okay, well, this is nice and small, but it was a little too remote. That's like, really, we get out of there and it's just like just farmland, and it's not like, my son goes to school now where it's beautiful and there's a lot of land, but literally there's a town, then there's stuff. They can go to a Walmart, they can go to a TJ Maxx, they can go to and get what they need, and then they have a really nice campus, and it's not that big, but it's not tiny like this. So it's, and now I'm like, whew, that I got scared when I saw this. Really, my daughter was like freaked. She called me from the city, and she doesn't usually freak about stuff, but it just you really, really would not expect it here. And it does sound like it's a targeted, incident. It sounds probably like it's some kind of a love thing. Like, like why would there be a 20-year-old student that's not there? So it sounds like it's someone's boyfriend, probably, right? Boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't even know if they've given us whether they're male or female, boyfriend, girlfriend. And maybe something of that effect, but why, I mean, how are they getting the firearm? Yeah, just, I don't even know. And yeah, it is hunting season up here in New York, and a lot of kids have rifles, shotguns. Yeah, they do. I don't know. I don't know how it happened. Your uncle was in the Navy, a nurse at Upstate Medical in Syracuse. The DEC, he's retired, but he's a lot of fun. Yeah, DEC is a good thing, Darla. It is. A lot of kids go into that, in these schools here. And it's a lot of hands-on stuff, and they get to do a lot of stuff outside, and it's a good deal. Okay, so yeah, I guess we better do the word puzzle. And oh, guess what? Okay, I have jury duty. I'm supposed to start on the 5th, so I have to call tomorrow. Now, the last time I had jury duty, and I called the night before, they said, oh, you don't need to go, and this counts as your jury service for the next 4 years, okay? I don't know what it'll be. I don't know if I will be called in, and if so, then I will be serving jury duty from 8:30 to 4:30 daily, okay? But that'll be starting on the 5th. So I'll let you know on how that goes. Yeah, fun, fun, fun. Hi, Amy's Justice League. I haven't seen you a long time. This is the second live. We lost our power a little bit. Where have you been, miss? Well, I haven't seen you in a long time. You broke up with us? So what else was I going to say? Yeah. So I'll let you know how that goes, but I think as after 5 o'clock tomorrow, I'll be able to find out if I'm needed. I don't know. I'm not sure what kind of a case it is or whatever's going on. And I don't even know that when I get there, they're going to pick me because I may have something that disqualifies me, right? But we'll see, right? What else can I tell you? I believe it's 4 years. I think so, Cully, unless it's changed. And do you know what you get paid per day for jury service? Take a guess. Let's see if it does anybody know what it's there in their neck of the woods. Do you know what you get paid? See if you can figure it out. Today I got to take a walk along Omni. Let's try that. Let's try that, Darla. Let's try Omni. Oopsie. I got to take a walk. That was nice, even though it started raining. It was my father's birthday. And then I went with my son. We went there. A lot of trees have been knocked over, so we got some wood on our land. He hauled it in the tractor back here to cut up. So that was good. Okay, Twisted says $11 a day. Are you serious? $15 a day? I get paid my full salary from my employer. Well, it is, oh, that's very good. Bomb, very good there, Darla, and bombing. I do not get jury duty anymore. It's $72 a day in New York. $72 here in New York State. I think it wasn't long ago that it was like 30, like 30. I think one other time when I had to go, but that was quite some time ago. My goodness, I think Ethan wasn't even born yet. It was mobbing. Yeah, that's it. It was like $36 a day or something. But that was the time I didn't get picked either. But I think I got $36 for that day. But now it's $72 a day. Not there, Jen, really? I was kind of surprised about that it was that high, and I know a friend of mine in California thought that was high too. She's like, whoa, that's a lot. I don't think we get that. I don't know. But yeah. What? Gibbon? Website. Yeah. Okay, very good. They're cheap there. I wonder, I'm going to look it up in a minute, what state gets paid the most for jury duty, okay? Let me check it out. But I want to go get my flu shot too, and I want to get my flu shot before I'm stuck, if I am going to go for jury duty, and do get stuck in there, I don't know. Ion. Yeah, that's probably it. All right, let me see. I'm going to look up which state has the most, pays the most for jury duty, okay? What state pays, pays the most for jury duty? Okay. Jury duty pay by state. Let's see. All right. Okay. All right, let's just take Washington. Let me see if this is even correct. This is not correct because, okay, it says New York $40. Well, that's not true. I have the paper right in front of me. So this is not correct. That's for sure right away. Jury duty laws in every U.S. state. Okay, it says that is so weird that jury duty compensation. What's the average jury salary by state? Let's see if this is correct. Okay. Here it's saying, let me see. This is crazy that it's not telling you what. Okay, select a state. New York. The state pays $40 a day, but this is not correct. Okay, my thing is right in front of me. Is this my thing? Where's my thing? Where did I put it? Over here? Hold on. Where did I put you? Department of State. Hold on a minute. Here we are. So that's not that. Where did I put my jury duty thing? Mine says $72. So let me see why. I'm just going to type that in. That doesn't make any sense to me when this keeps saying, okay, let me see. Jury duty in New York, 72. Yes, it says effective. Oh yeah, here it goes. New York jury duty pays $72 per day effective June 8th, 2025, a significant increase from the previous $40 per day. Okay, so it just increased in June. $72. So who else pays $72? Yeah, it just said it. August 8th, it said, for the first time since 1998, New York State increased the payment granted to jurors from $40 to $72 per day. So, let's see. Do any other states pay more than $72 per day for jury duty. Okay. Hey, listen to this one. It says, yes, many states pay more than $72 a day for jury duty, with some states like Indiana, here you go, Scooter, planning to pay up to $90 per day after the sixth day. Federal jurors receive $50, and several states have daily rates that are already higher than $72 or plan to increase it. Indiana will increase jury pay to $80 a day starting in July and to $90 per day after the sixth day of a trial. Connecticut, let's see, requires employers to pay full-time employees their regular wages for the first 5 days of jury service, and the state will pay $50 per day beginning on the sixth day. New York pays $72 per day for jury duty. Okay. Arkansas pays jurors $50 per day. Colorado pays $50. Massachusetts, $50. Let's see. So Indiana, Scooter. Indiana. Okay, let's see if this is going to put any more in here. California jurors are paid $15 per day, starting on their second day of service. Illinois paid amounts vary by county, with one example being $16 per day in Cook County. Texas jurors are paid $6 per day. Florida jurors receive nothing unless their employer isn't paying, in which case they get $30 per day. Wow. You don't want to serve in Texas? Wow. Let's see here. Okay, so here it is. Colorado's 50, Connecticut's 50, Georgia's 50, Massachusetts 50, South Dakota's 50, North Dakota's 50 half day and $100 a full day in North Dakota. Alabama's 40, Nebraska's 35, Florida is 30. Now they're saying Florida's 30. California's 15. Texas is $6. Oh. South Carolina, you don't get anything in South Carolina. Think about those Murdaugh jurors. You don't get anything. Are you serious? Nothing. That's crazy. Okay, yes, but Texas has no state tax. Texas has no state tax. Okay. Do they pay for mileage? Not in New York, Kelly, Lisa. They don't pay for mileage, gas, or anything like that. California, it's the same for the entire state, not per county, and it's only $15 a day, which starts on the second day. Huh. Okay, well, we'll see what happens to me. We'll know tomorrow whether I'm going or not. What did you say, hon? If you get called in, bring my antibacterial. Yes, don't you worry about that. I have I have the sanitizer in my purse, a big pump bottle, yes, and wipes and everything you can imagine. Yeah. My daughter-in-law to be is just like, she was like, Do you have that? Like, she always counts on me to have that. She's a lot like me with that stuff, yeah. Oh yeah, tomorrow is election day, right? Yeah. Yep. Yep. My father's birthday is always around. Okay, anyway, guys, and I have a meeting tomorrow too, a very important one. It's a privilege to honor to serve. Texas employers have to pay salary there for so many days. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Have you served on one, Amy? Just asking for a friend. So, I don't know. Tomorrow I may start that. What did I think that? Baseball card case. I don't know what yet. I have to see. Oh, we have a new member. Who's our new member? Welcome to whoever became a new member. It says we have a new member. Did anybody see who is our new member? Let me go over here. Welcome to our new member. Let me see who that was. Oh, One Eye Blind Arts rejoined again. Thank you, One Eye Blind Art. Thank you for being a member. One Eye Blind Art has been a member for a long time. And something's wrong with membership because he has a son, which means he's been a member over a year. And it says 1 day. I think they're doing stuff like they're really whacking up with their stuff. I don't know. But thank you, One Eye. Okay, and let me go over here to content. I was trying to, I had to unshell those chestnuts, and I got through so many, and then I'm like, I'll finish that tomorrow. And I have to try to color my hair tomorrow. Always disqualified? Oh, disqualification. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to go to sleep. It's cold. My feet are cold. It's 48 degrees. Oh my gosh. All right. I love you guys. God bless. Prayers. And see you tomorrow. I'll let you know what I'm doing. How many were shot? 1, Catherine. 1 person. Let's hope and pray he's okay. Or she. He or she. Okay, everybody. See you tomorrow. Prayers for everyone that needs them. We all need them. So prayers for all of us. God bless us all. And good night. I love you guys.